Razabani for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Delighted to have with me here at the BT Studios the Jackal himself, Mr. Carl Frampton. Carl, firstly, how are we doing?
I'm doing okay, yeah.
Carl, during your career, we had some blockbuster fights. I remember Scott Quigg. I remember travelling and doing multiple press conferences just to get everybody oozing about this big fight. We kind of haven't had that for this fight. Dillian Whyte obviously decided not to show up to the initial press conference. What have you made of the whole conundrum?
To be honest, I thought we probably would have needed it. I thought that it's a huge stadium to try and fill. And if one man's only going to take part in a press conference, it's going to be really difficult to fill it. But to my surprise, they were able to do it. It just shows you the star that Tyson Fury has become. I think that, I like the build-up to fights, and I would have liked to have seen Dillian Whyte be a bit more involved. But in terms of, we've seen him tweet something today. So in terms of what is contractual, what he has to do to fulfill the contract, if he's meeting them obligations, then by one or two tweets, I think he played it pretty clever. I think that Tyson Fury can make people look silly and embarrass them, and he's just been, behind the scenes in the background doing his own thing. So I think it's probably been a shrewd enough move from Dillian.
Someone like Tyson Fury, who loves people in front of him, who loves that engagement, it roars him on as well. Do you think I know we haven't seen it, but do you think it's affected him in any formal way?
No, I don't think so. I think that he'd be excited about, walking out in front of the biggest ever audience there's been in Europe for a boxing match. So he'd be excited about that. That'll be enough for him to get him excited. And people will heavily support Tyson Fury, I feel like, in this fight. He is, no matter what you think about him, what you want to say, he wants to call himself the people's champion, and people do respect him. And he's at a position here now where he's almost, dare I say it, transcended the sport, where it's not just the boxing fan or the sports fan knows him. The granny in the street knows him, and some kids know him who aren't into sport really. He's a huge name, and he'll certainly be up for this fight.
Fury obviously last time was out against Deontay Wilder, that emphatic win and knockout. Dillian hasn't been in the ring for over a year now. How much of that is that going to play in Tyson's favour?
I don't know. Look, if he's been training away behind the scenes, I don't think being out of the ring counts for much as long as you've been active in the gym, and I believe that Dillian Whyte has been. It's different if he's been sitting on his arse for most of the year and then does a 6-week training camp for a fight. That's different then. But if he's been active, I don't think it's going to play too much of or have too much of an impact on the fight.
What kind of Fury turns up? We've seen him have many different styles, just fighting southpaw against Derek Chisora many years ago. Against Klitschko, it was almost a back foot fight using his jab. With Deontay Wilder in the third fight, he went at him. He's so unpredictable. Yeah. One, what do you think he'll do? And two, how does Dillian prepare for someone so awkward like Fury?
Yeah, it's really hard for Dillian Whyte to prepare for that. He doesn't know what to expect. Are you going to see the Fury we've seen in Wilder 2 and 3? Or are we going to see the one we've seen in Wilder 1? Or even a more negative Fury? That there can be a more negative Fury, and he can kind of just outbox people and use his ring smarts and find a way to win and nip rounds here and there. Who knows what we're going to see? He says he's going to stand and have a fight. Trying to think about it logically, it wouldn't surprise me if he does that because of what we've seen in the second and third Wilder fight. But trying to think about it logically, you've got a short hooker in front of you in Dillian Whyte, who's aggressive and comes forward. Decent jab, good left hook. I feel like you just try and outbox him, but I don't know. I don't know what we're going to see.
94,000 people, record attendance at Wembley, live and exclusive on BT box office. How much of a big event is this going to be next week?
It's massive. It's huge. I'm excited about it. I can't wait to get in the fight week and soak up the atmosphere. And this is what people ask me all the time about. Do I miss boxing? And I don't, because I can be involved in big nights like this, and I don't have to train for it. So, yeah, it's really, really exciting for me and for not just boxing fans but sports fans in general. It's a huge night.
Finally, I'm not going to let you go without giving me a prediction. What happens on the night?
I haven't really changed my mind in terms of this and what I've thought since the fight was made, and I just feel like I like Dillian, and I don't want to be disrespectful to him and just say he's a puncher's chance. He's a bit more than a puncher's chance. He's a good fighter, but from start to finish, I just think that Fury's a bit too clever for him, and he wins the fight via late stoppage after about round 10, 10, 11, 12. Late one.
Okay, well, Carl, thank you for giving me a few minutes of your time. We have a tight schedule today, as they keep reminding me. But yeah, let's enjoy fight weekend and roll on next week, Saturday night.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
Carl Frampton, IFL TV, thank you very much.
Welcome, Team Everlast, to the Team Everlast Fitness app. Download the Everlast Fitness app and find your greatness within.